Outside of that, the stress is real. When I first came to the location we had technicians quitting like crazy. We'd be training them. They'd be in 2 weeks. They get out into that retail setting after taking their little e-learnings online, and this is not for me. It takes putting on many hats and multitasking. As
And we are in a national shortage right now of pharmacy technicians. Everywhere you go is a pharmacy that's hiring pharmacy technicians. And some of it has to do with all the multitasking and prioritization and the stressful environment that people are being subjected to. I have to tell my technicians all the time that, you have to understand that when the patient comes in and get their prescription, they may not have had a great day. They may have gotten news that their illness has progressed and now they have to be on a different therapy. They may have just gotten out of the hospital, and so they just want to get home, and so they're just picking up their medication for that. Or maybe even be a caregiver. It's a family member. They're just coming up there to pick up their medication for their loved one, and they just want it ready right now because they're on their lunch break or they have other things that they need to be doing. They really didn't even want to come in there from the beginning. And so understanding that that's what they're going to have to encounter, I try to prepare my technician students for those things so that they know they're not walking to a rosy colored, we're not just this happy go friendly go lucky department, because it is a stressful environment. And because of that, I believe that that's why we have such a technician shortage right now. There is lower pay for pharmacy technicians, definitely a lot lower than what the pharmacists are making. But the environment is such that both of them equally are having to endure some of these challenges and multitasking. So what are some of the things that you all have seen as far as technician and the labor market, Dr. Tiff, Shamita, and Dr. Mariko?
It's very hard to find a good qualified pharmacy technician. And then when you do, because some of them do not understand the type of stress that you have to be in when you work in the settings where you have to actually have face-to-face contact with the patients. When you do finally find someone, if they're not cut out for that position, then they go right back out the door. So it's been really difficult.
Yeah, I will say that turnover, it could be a challenge. In general, I know when it came to me being a leader, because the last couple months that I was in retail, I was a pharmacy manager. A lot of my technicians stayed not because of the pay, but because of the leadership and because of the people. And some because of the patients and the relationships that they had with patients. Outside of that, the stress is real. When I first came to the location we had technicians quitting like crazy. We'd be training them. They'd be in 2 weeks. They get out into that retail setting after taking their little e-learnings online, and this is not for me. It takes putting on many hats and multitasking. As we were talking about competing priorities. And some people aren't cut out, that some people can't think 3 different ways, because a lot of the times that's what you have to do as a technician. It's not just one check mind. You thinking about, you got to do this. Oh, the phone is ringing. Oh, patient that came here 15 minutes ago is going to be expecting this. Let me go back and check and see if it's ready. There's a lot of priorities that come into play. And that doesn't include, looking through expired drugs, taking the truck out and putting the truck away, or making the phone calls to my patients to come pick up their medications because they're ready, and we might have to put it back. That doesn't include any other clerical duties that have to be done outside of filling your prescription. It can be a lot. It's a lot. When I was a tech, it was a lot. You gotta definitely be cut for the role, and if you're not certified, sometimes the pay is not where it really needs to be to do all of that. And then being certified adds some extra roles on there, and what you might get that extra $1 or $2. Sometimes it's not worth it. And it's really about the people that you're with and the patients.
I actually want to piggyback off the being certified part. So with my previous employer, one of the challenges I faced is that we would find these technicians who were okay with the workload, they were okay with the pay, they just weren't certified. And our company required that they got certified after a certain amount of time. So they would study, go take the exam, and they wouldn't pass. And because they didn't get certified in time, we had to let them go. So that's one of the biggest challenges I faced with my previous employers is we couldn't get the tech certified in time.
Yeah. So all those things are definite challenges for sure for our pharmacy technicians. Pharmacy technicians really are the foundation of pharmacy. They do the majority of the physical tasks, while the pharmacist then does the clinical judgment, making sure that you're getting the right prescription. But pharmacy technicians actually fill the medication and make sure they put the right pills in the bottle, right? And
Right.
so we're always balancing so much. And so please, again, have grace when your prescription is not ready, because that technician is doing the best that they possibly can. If they have stuck around for any amount of time after 8 weeks, trust me, they are doing a lot of work. I tell my pharmacy technicians all the time, like, when you jump into your job, you need to absorb everything that you can absorb about that workflow within 2 weeks, because something's going to happen. Somebody's going to call out or somebody's going to leave, and you're going to be expected to pretty much sink or swim. So some of our technicians are sinking or swimming back there in the pharmacy while they're filling your prescription because of the shortage.